There's a moment, a single heartbeat, where destiny holds its breath. The matrix of leadership hovers between one soul and another, weighing not just power, but worthiness. We celebrate the primes who claimed it, but tonight, we honor the ghosts of greatness, the ones who almost changed everything. These are the near primes, the almosts, the could-have-beens. Their stories aren't written in victory. They're carved in sacrifice, regret, and the terrible beauty of falling just short of legend. Before there was Optimus Prime, there was a simple archivist named Orion Pax. No warrior training, no battle scars, just questions. Questions about justice, about freedom, about why some Cybertronians lived in golden towers while others scraped energon from the depths. But here's what they don't tell you in the legends. Orion Pax didn't seek the Matrix, he feared it. While Megatron demanded recognition, Orion pleaded for understanding. While others fought for power, he simply served. And that's exactly why the Matrix chose him. Not for his strength, but for his humility. Not for his ambition, but for his doubt. The Matrix doesn't crown warriors. It finds servants who never wanted to rule. Orion Pax was the first near prime who actually became one. But the cost? He had to die for Optimus to be born. 1986. The year that broke every Transformers fan's heart. And at the center of that heartbreak, a young Autobot named Hot Rod, whose single moment of reckless heroism changed the fate of two universes. He meant to save his leader. Instead, he doomed him. That guilt, that crushing weight of what if, it followed Hot Rod into the Matrix itself. But here's the secret this movie never fully explored. The Matrix didn't choose Hot Rod despite his mistake. It chose him because of it. Because only someone who understood the true cost of leadership could carry its burden. Rodimus Prime ruled, yes, but he never stopped being Hot Rod inside. The young bot who just wanted to help, who never asked for destiny to find him in his darkest hour. Some primes are born ready. Others are forged in the fire of their own failures. Ultra Magnus, the perfect soldier, the loyal second. In a dozen continuities, he stands ready at Optimus's right hand, unwavering, uncompromising, and unworthy. But wait, the Matrix didn't reject Magnus because he was weak. It rejected him because he was too strong, too rigid, too willing to follow orders without question. Here's what the lore whispers in the shadows. In the IDW comics, in the animated series, in a dozen untold stories, Magnus could have been chosen. The Matrix considered him, weighed him, found him, lacking in only one thing: the courage to say no to authority. Magnus would die for Optimus, kill for Optimus, lead armies for Optimus, but he would never replace Optimus, and that's exactly why he couldn't be Prime.
Ultra Magnus, you are no Optimus Prime.
Because leadership isn't about following the rules perfectly. It's about knowing when to break them. Transformers Prime, Season 3. Optimus Prime lies dying, his spark fading, and the matrix of leadership pulses weakly in his chest. For one impossible moment, it reaches out, not to a veteran, not to a proven leader, but to a rookie named Smokescreen. Here's what most fans missed. Alpha Trion didn't just appear to guide Smokescreen by coincidence. He was testing him. For a heartbeat, the Matrix itself considered choosing the young warrior. His courage was undeniable. His loyalty absolute. But courage and loyalty weren't enough. The Matrix saw something else in Smokescreen's spark. The hunger for glory. The need to prove himself. The desire to be special. And so the Matrix turned away. Not in anger, but in wisdom. Because the best primes never wanted to be prime at all. Smokescreen saved Optimus that day. But he lost his only chance at destiny. Of all the near primes, this might be the most impossible. Sam Witwicky, human, teenager, owner of a beat-up Camaro, and absolutely zero military training. And yet, when he died saving Optimus Prime, something extraordinary happened. The Primes themselves, Cybertron's first leaders, beings of legend, looked at this human boy and saw worthiness. They didn't just bring him back to life. They gave him their power, their knowledge, their matrix. For one shining moment, Sam Witwicky carried the matrix of leadership. A human, a child, a nobody from a nowhere town who stumbled into the greatest war in the universe. And that's the point. The Matrix doesn't see species. It doesn't see size or strength or Cybertronian heritage. It sees sacrifice. It sees love. It sees the willingness to die for something greater than yourself. Sam proved that anyone can touch the spark of a Prime. But what happens when a Prime falls? When the Matrix chooses wrong? When destiny itself makes a mistake? Sentinel Prime wasn't a near Prime. He was a Prime. Chosen, anointed, crowned with the Matrix's light. And he became the greatest cautionary tale in Transformers history. Here's what haunts every Prime who came after. If Sentinel could fall, if someone chosen by the Matrix itself could betray everything it stood for, then none of them are truly safe from corruption. Sentinel's story isn't about failure. It's about the terrible responsibility that comes with ultimate power. Even the Matrix can't protect against the one enemy no Prime can defeat: their own choices. Some legends aren't about who held the Matrix. They're about who should have held it. Dinobot, Predacon turned Maximal. A warrior bound by honor so absolute it transcended faction, species, even survival itself. When he discovered that his former allies planned to destroy humanity's ancestors, he faced an impossible choice. He chose to die alone rather than let innocents suffer. No Matrix guided him. No ancient programming compelled him. Just honor. Pure, uncompromising honor. Optimus Primal himself said it. He lived a warrior and died a hero. But here's the deeper truth. Dinobot died a Prime. Not in title, but in spirit. Not in name, but in deed. Some Primes are never chosen. Some simply are. But the most haunting near Prime of all is the one who came closest to saving Cybertron before it ever needed saving. Megatron. Before the war, before the hatred, before the fall. When he was just a gladiator with a dream and a voice that could move mountains, the Matrix considered him. Oh yes, it saw his strength, his charisma, his genuine desire for change. But it also saw something else: pride. The belief that he alone could fix a broken world. The certainty that the ends justified any means. And so, the Matrix turned to Orion instead. Not because Orion was stronger, but because he was humble. Not because he had better ideas, but because he was willing to doubt his own. Megatron could have been the greatest Prime in history. Instead, he became the reason Primes were necessary at all. That's the cruelest truth of the near Primes. Sometimes, the closest to greatness fall the furthest. But sometimes, the smallest spark shines the brightest. Bumblebee, the little brother, the scout, the one everyone underestimates, until they need someone they can trust with their lives. The IDW comics hinted at something incredible. When Optimus was gone, when the Autobots needed a leader, they didn't turn to Ultra Magnus or Jazz or any of the obvious choices. They turned to Bumblebee. He led without the Matrix. He inspired without the title. He proved that sometimes the best Prime is the one who never needed to be chosen. In another universe, another timeline, the Matrix might have looked at this small yellow warrior and seen exactly what it was looking for. Not the strongest voice, but the truest. Not the biggest spark, but the brightest. Some legends don't need ancient artifacts. Some just need heart. And finally, a near prime most Western fans never knew existed. Star Saber, warrior, monk, legend. In Japanese continuity, in IDW lore, in the hearts of fans across the Pacific, he stands as proof that some warriors transcend the need for titles. His devotion bordered on fanaticism. His honor was absolute. His courage was unbreakable. Fans called him a prime in all but name. And they were right. Because here's the secret that transcends continuity, that crosses cultural lines, that speaks to the very heart of what Transformers means. The Matrix doesn't make primes. Character does. Honor does. The choice to stand for something greater than yourself. That's what makes a prime. Star Saber never needed the Matrix to prove what everyone could see. He was already prime where it mattered most. In his spark. Hot Rod, Magnus, Smokescreen, Sam, Dinobot, Bumblebee, Star Saber. Even Megatron in his darkest what if. They all shared something beyond the Matrix. Beyond titles. Beyond destiny itself. They all faced the same choice that every true prime faces. Not, will I be chosen? But, will I choose to serve? Not, am I worthy of power? But, am I willing to sacrifice everything for others? And that's why Optimus Prime isn't just the greatest prime. He's the symbol of everyone who could have been prime. He carries not just the Matrix, but the dreams of every near prime who came before. What makes a prime isn't destiny. It isn't the Matrix. It isn't even victory. It's the choice to stand up when everyone else falls down. It's the choice to hope when hope seems impossible. It's the choice to be more than what you were, for the sake of everyone else. The near primes taught us that. And maybe, just maybe, that spark lives in all of us. So, I ask you this, fellow legends. Which of these near primes touched your spark the most? Who do you think came closest to earning the Matrix? And in your heart of hearts, do you think you have what it takes to be a prime? Because here's the truth, they don't want you to know. Every single one of us is a near prime. Every choice to help instead of hurt, to stand instead of kneel, to hope instead of despair. That's the spark of a prime right there. If these stories of almost greatness moved you, if you believe in the legend of the primes, then keep this spark alive. Subscribe for more hidden truths, untold stories, and the mysteries that make Transformers more than meets the eye. Because the legend isn't ending, it's just beginning, till all are one.